Hello, everyone, and welcome into our OVC tournament preview show here for our members of the Colonel Club and the EKU fan base. Excited to have you. Our show today presented by First Watch, the Daytime Cafe, serving breakfast, brunch, and lunch in Richmond. It's going to be an exciting week of basketball as we all head to Evansville this week for the Colonel's final run in the OVC tournament. Austin Peay, the opponent to open this tournament for the Colonels, a 21-win team for EKU this year, a incredible feat under the circumstances, recording a program record, 15 OVC wins, and for that, a couple of the Colonels recognized earlier this week with a few awards, and that includes Trey King and Wendell Green, their first team All-OVC selections. They're the third set of EKU teammates to be named first team All-OVC, and in addition to that, Wendell Green is also awarded an all-newcomer team selection. And when we take a look at this tournament, the bracket, let's take a gander here, is EKU will open up Thursday at 9:30 p.m. against Austin Peay. That game on ESPN+. That is 9:30 local time in Evansville, Central Time. Here in the Richmond area, that'll be a 10:30 p.m. tip from the Ford Center in Evansville. And the Ford Center last year played host to these Colonels, and they got a taste of what tournament life is like after a short reprieve from the tournament. They beat Tennessee State in their first game last year. Let's take a look back at what that game was like for the Colonels.
EKU men's basketball warming up for their quarterfinal match against the Tigers of Tennessee State. Closing seconds of the first half, Colonels down 5, and from 50 feet, Jaquez Hobbs nets it at the buzzer, and EKU goes into the break trailing by 2. Second half, the deficit has ballooned to 6, and Michael Moreno from the corner cuts it in half. Ty Taylor from the wing ties it at 32 with 3 of his 11, and we're off and running. Taylor looking to give Eastern Kentucky the lead. He's off the mark, but Michael Moreno's there for the board and the putback to give EKU the lead. Jamaro Brown on the dribble gives it up to Balogun, who starts to wreaking havoc on the rim. That was part of a 12-0 run. Colonel's up a half dozen when Rashard Cruikshank finds Moreno on the wing. Buckets. The freshman finishes with 10 points. Jamar Brown joins the three-party to push the lead to double digits. He chips in a dozen as Eastern Kentucky puts it on cruise control and advances to the semifinals with a 58-48 victory. Coach Hamilton and company will look to keep it rolling against the Belmont Bruins tomorrow. I'm David Miller for EKU Sports.
That Belmont game last year not going in the Colonel's favor, but one that did just a couple weeks ago was a win over the Bruins, ending their 30-game OVC win streak and their chance in an undefeated OVC season right here in Alumni Coliseum. Let's take a look back at that successful outing for the Colonels.
After 7 straight games on the road, EKU men's basketball was finally back at McBrayer Arena last night, taking on the Belmont Bruins. And if full capacity was allowed, there was a good chance the roof would have been blown off Alumni Coliseum. Trey King, down low, hits the fadeaway to lift the lid. About halfway through the opening stanza, Colonel's down 3, and Kurt Lewis is going to change that. Ensuing possession, and Lewis gets an amazing acrobatic hustle steal. Look at this, a sideways roll and everything. He pops back up, throwing it off the window, getting the hoop and the harm. Then the fun really starts. Cooper Robb slings it to an open Silu, and he bends some iron. The redshirt freshman was rolling, hitting a pair of jumpers to put Eastern up 9. Then Cooper Robb orders up a 3-piece to push the lead to a dozen. Robb finds TK underneath. He one-times it off the deck and puts it in off the glass. EKU is cruising. Some suffocating D allows Rashard Cruikshank to come up with the steal. He drops it off to Lewis, who Euro steps with the finger roll finish. He tallies 15, all in the first half. Belmont trying to trim the lead, can't. Moreno with the rebound, outlets it to Wendell Green Jr., and we're off to the races. He lays it up, and it goes in with some love from the rim. Green, working off the screen, decides to stop and pop for 2 of his game-high 22 points. And they were dancing in the stands as Eastern Kentucky cruises to an 81-67 victory, setting a program record with their 14th conference win while snapping Belmont's 30-game OVC winning streak. Trey King just missed a double-double, logging 14 points and 9 rebounds. Eastern's defense was ruthless, as the Bruins only shot 36% from the field and 26% from downtown. So the Colonels locked up the 3 seed for the conference tournament and close out the regular season tomorrow when they host Tennessee State. I'm David Miller for EKU Sports.
As David said during that piece, the 14th OVC win of the season for this program, they extended that to 15 with a win over Tennessee State on senior night here in Alumni Coliseum. And we'll talk with A.W. Hamilton shortly about that game and previewing the OVC tournament. When we look back at this season, the coach of the year in the OVC came from our friends at Morehead State and one of our great rivals historically here in the OVC. And that team provided the opponent for the first 2 OVC games of this season. And when we look back at that contest, it's a team that could show up on the bracket for EKU early in this tournament.
EKU men's basketball took the floor at McBrayer Arena last night for the first time this season. The home opener would also be the conference opener as the Colonels welcomed in the Eagles of Morehead State. And it was the Michael Moreno show early, as the sophomore would hit 3 straight long balls to give EKU a 9-0 lead. Morehead State would settle in after that and pretty much make themselves at home as the Eagles went on a 44-19 run to take a 16-point lead into halftime. Second half, Colonels have a mountain to climb, and Wendell Green Jr. slings it out to Kurt Lewis, and he knocks down the 3 ball to get the trek started. Pressing for 40 minutes is a lifestyle at Eastern Kentucky, and Cooper, Robb, and Green have embraced it as Robb gets the steal and Icy win with the finish as EKU cuts it to 11 quickly. Colonel's down a dozen, Green gets it to Moreno, and he serves up a little shake and bake before he hits the trifecta. 57-44 Morehead. Trey King gets it off the inbound. He's looking for a place to go and decides he's comfortable where he's at. Green with the bounce pass to King, and he pulls up and rattles home the 10-footer. Less than 8 minutes left, Eastern down 10, and TK hits the turnaround fadeaway to cut it to 8. King finishes the night with 13 points and 9 rebounds. Next EKU possession, and Lewis airmails one to Moreno in the corner. Buckets. Moreno pours in a career-high 29 points. Moreno on the drive, kicks it out to Rashard Cruikshank, and he buries it as Eastern Kentucky has made it a 1-possession game. Under 3 minutes, Colonels applying pressure, an errant pass hits off Moreno's foot. Green corrals it and goes up and under as Eastern Kentucky reclaims the lead and goes on to win 71-68. The Colonels shot 53% from the field and forced 16 turnovers in that second half comeback. The Colonels are back in action on Saturday when they host Transylvania University. I'm David Miller for EKU Sports.
I want to take a moment to recognize our women's basketball program who made some huge strides this year as they continue to grow and elevate their program. A rare 8-win conference season that is not rewarded with a tournament berth. This team made so much progress this year. They beat the defending conference champion SEMO here actually on the road in convincing fashion. They also beat a really quality Eastern Illinois team and a sweep of Morehead State in the final year in the OVC before heading off into the ASUN Conference. It's going to be an exciting transition July 1 as EKU makes the move to the ASUN Conference. But this week we celebrate the tradition, the excellence of our time in the OVC tournament. It's going to be a big week in Evansville. We also want to thank again our presenting sponsor of today's preview show, First Watch, the Daytime Cafe, serving breakfast, brunch, and lunch in Richmond. Before we leave you, we want to talk with the head coach of the EKU Colonels, and to do that, David Miller rejoins us. He spoke with A.W. Hamilton following the senior night win.
What's up, Colonel fans? Another win here at McBrayer Arena for EKU men's basketball, 89-84 to close out the season and send the seniors out on a high note. Coach, how important is that?
It's so important. Look, and I just told Stotts on the radio, the last 2 years, our seniors are 27-11 in OVC play. You know, and then every time I look up, these guys are breaking new records. And to send these guys out with the win, and all of them impacted the game, I'm really proud of our team. We didn't play our best, but you know what we did? We made free throws.
That's right.
And that's what good teams have to do, and you know, to be a championship-level team. We go 27 for 28 from the free throw line.
And those are clutch, because at one point it was 71-71. Were you nervous at all when the game got that close?
You know, I'm always nervous. No, no. I believe in these guys. You know, they kept pushing us, and we would push back, and you know, it was a great team win. It wasn't our best game, but that's okay. It's our 21st win, and we're happy with it.
That's right. One of 5 teams right now with 20 wins going into the conference tournament. What are you guys looking as you get ready to play the 6th seed since we locked up the 3 seed?
Well, look, so now we're 0-0. It's a brand new season. So now we got to prepare for Austin Peay. We got time. We can get back and practice. You know, during this season, especially when we kind of hit our little, you know, pause, we haven't had a lot of time to practice. So now we'll have some days we can get back in the gym. The guys can get back with John Mike, get their bodies feeling good, and we'll be ready. We're excited about this.
Coach, I'm excited for you, man. I look forward to it, and good luck in the tournament.
You're my man. Thank you.
27-11 over the last 2 years for this crew in OVC play. An exciting week ahead. 15 OVC wins this year, 21 wins on the season as this team will head to Evansville looking to claim an OVC championship. Let's take one more look at the bracket. It will start out on Wednesday as the top-seeded Belmont Bruins take on SIU Edwardsville. That game Wednesday at 7 p.m. on ESPN+. The other Wednesday games at the bottom of the bracket, Morehead State will take on SEMO, a team that EKU split with just a week and a half ago on the road. Heading on to that Thursday matchup, if you're coming to see the Colonels, you can get 2 games for one as Jacksonville State and Ray Harper take on Murray State on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time in Evansville. That game also on ESPN+. Before the Colonels take on Austin Peay Thursday at 9:30 p.m. In Central Time and a 10:30 start here in Richmond. For those fans unable to join us in Evansville, you'll have a chance to watch the game right here in Alumni Coliseum. You can pick up a ticket for that, which is absolutely free, but due to social distancing requirements and such, you will need to get a ticket. You can reserve that now through EKUsports.com, or tickets will be available at the door until they run out. It'll be spaced out just like a normal home game for the Colonels this year. As we close things out, we thank you for joining us today and throughout the entire season as we've brought you the virtual courtside pass this unique year. We were so lucky to be able to get so many games in at home this season due to the consistent commitment of both our program here internally, the great staff here, and your commitment as fans to follow the regulations in place to come out to games this year. And we appreciate your support so much. As always, the Colonel Club here to serve you in any way we can. Please reach out to us at any time, and we would love to serve your passions for EKU Athletics. There is no fan base more passionate and appreciating the great tradition that has been established here that continues to grow and continues to evolve. Big things ahead as we conclude play in OVC this week and ahead in the ASUN Conference. One last time, thank you to our sponsor, First Watch, the Daytime Cafe, serving breakfast, lunch, brunch, and lunch in Richmond. And thank you for their commitment to EKU Athletics as well. Enjoy the games this week in Evansville. We hope to talk to you next week for an NCAA tournament run as these Colonels continue their stellar play this year. Thanks, everyone.